There has been so much Marvel news that has dropped in this past week alone. And in this past week, we've gotten news about Daredevil, Shang-Chi, Thor, kind of an update on Thor 5, the Young Avengers, and a new team that is going to be coming from the MCU / might already exist in the MCU in a pretty interesting way. And we're going to break down all this news and tell you everything you need to know in this video. And we also did get some pretty big Spider-Man news. I did a full video breaking the news down a few days ago. You can check it out if you want, but basically what you need to know, the most important part is that they're changing the script for Spider-Man 4. So the Spider-Man 4 script is changing. Anything that we've heard before might be changed. This movie has already been kind of shrouded in mystery because we've gotten so many reports about it, but due to many changes that have happened in the MCU that have affected this movie, we're unsure at this point in time. If you want the full details, you can check out the video we did a few days ago after this vid, but just know that the script is changing. Now, the first thing we'll dive into today is Daredevil in the MCU. Now, Daredevil Born Again, based off of everything we know, sounds like it's gonna be pretty dang epic. That comes out in March, but that is actually not what we're talking about today. Today, we are talking about Daredevil appearing in Avengers Doomsday. Now, when rumors started to swirl about this last week, I think a lot of people thought, okay, well, this makes sense. But at the same time, with so many heroes going to be involved in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, you could probably imagine that some might get left out or some might get very little screen time, or maybe just they show up for a cameo and really don't have anything to do with the main story. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case for Charlie Cox's Daredevil, as it is now confirmed that he has begun training to appear in Avengers Doomsday. The training facility in Western Australia in Perth, DFRNT, posted this to Instagram, a picture of Charlie Cox and his wife with the caption, "Daredevil spotted at DFRNT. It's been awesome having Charlie and his wife, Sam Cox, in at DFRNT over the past few weeks. Charlie is currently training for his role in the upcoming Marvel Avengers movie where he will play Daredevil. It's been our absolute pleasure working with you both, and we can't wait to watch you on the big screen. See you soon." So he's confirmed to be in Avengers Doomsday. And keep in mind, they recently shot Daredevil Born Again. Like, the final filming, especially with all the reshoots that they didn't wrap up that too long ago. So he was already in pretty decent shape, and now he's begun to train even more, which leads me to believe that his role in Avengers Doomsday isn't exactly going to be small, at least not super small. In fact, I think we might get a little bit of what all of us wanted Spider-Man 4 to originally be. A team up with Spider-Man and Daredevil. Because keep in mind, Avengers Doomsday happens before Spider-Man 4, so there are parts of Avengers Doomsday that can be very street level and grounded, and I think we might actually start off with Spider-Man, seeing what he's been up to since the events of No Way Home, and it sounds like maybe he's teamed up with Daredevil since those events have happened. Which makes sense, they're both fighting crime in New York. They're both heroes in New York City. Well, kind of. Heroes to us, but maybe not necessarily to the public eye. Looking at you, JJJ. But I'm excited to hear that we might get just a little bit of what we wanted from Spider-Man 4 in Avengers Doomsday with Spider-Man and Daredevil. I think that would be really cool. And I think he is a character that many people love and many people want to see have a decent sized role in Avengers Doomsday, which it sounds like that's going to happen. Now, we have a small update about Thor 5 / news about when we'll see Thor next in the MCU. And these reports kind of go hand in hand here. In a Q&A on their Discord server, Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com was asked when we will next see Thor and Love. Discord user CamCam asked the question, but also pointed out that Thor is a father now. And when discussing his future, a lot of people don't talk about that, and they're hoping that Marvel doesn't forget about that either, which is a valid point. But Alex responded with, Chris Hemsworth will be back in the Avengers films. Now, we knew this, but the fact that Alex, the insider, said that he'll be back in the Avengers films and not in Thor 5 means that we are not getting Thor 5 at least before the next Avengers Doomsday, if we even actually do get Thor 5. Now, there have been talks about it, but as far as the other projects are concerned, like Doctor Strange 3 and the Scarlet Witch solo movie, even projects like Shang-Chi 2, they've all been talked about more, and insiders have heard more about these films than Thor 5. So it seems like as of right now, those secret projects that are coming before Avengers Doomsday doesn't seem like one of them is going to be for Thor 5. Based on everything we've heard, it seems like it's going to be Doctor Strange 3, but we're going to have to wait and see on that. And keep in mind, Doomsday is going to have a lot of different stories, and I'm sure Loki's story of him kind of handling the multiverse right now is going to be one of them, and that could tie Thor in a pretty big way. And in this video, we have 2 more teams to talk about, but first, I always do my best on the channel to try and keep you up to date on the most recent Marvel news, but in the real world, it's sometimes kind of hard to keep up to date with all the recent news, which is why I'd like to tell you about Straight Arrow News, my partners and sponsors for today's video. Staying up to date with all the important events and pieces of news going on in the world is overwhelming. And with good reason, especially right now in time of media bias and mistrust. It's tough to know what the truth is. That's why I've been using Straight Arrow News to find out what is really going on. Straight Arrow News is an app and website that's an unbiased news source that specializes in reliable, fact-based news. Not only are they unbiased, but they also have a media miss tool that will tell you how much each side is covering certain events. It'll tell you if the left isn't covering something the right is covering, or if the right isn't covering something the left is. And it'll also tell you if both sides are covering an event the same. This allows everyone to get the full picture of what is going on, rather than having to trust a biased news source. Ever since the election, I use Straight Arrow News now more than ever to see what's really going on. And it's been eye-opening to see how much bias is in the media. So I'm grateful for Straight Arrow News, and you can go to san.com/cosmic to check it out, or click the link in my description. When you visit, you're not only supporting the channel, but you're also supporting a group of journalists that are raising the bar on news and focusing on serving you the truth. The Young Avengers Project. Now, keep in mind, according to multiple different insiders, the Young Avengers Project is actually going to be named Champions. So instead of being the Young Avengers, they will be the Champions. The reported reasoning for this is because some of the so-called Young Avengers characters in the MCU aren't exactly that young right now, like Miss Marvel and Kate Bishop and Cassie Lang. I would still technically call them Young Avengers. I don't think that they're too old to be called Young Avengers, but apparently this is what Marvel thinks. However, from what we have heard, it sounds like they're more concerned with the age of the actors who play the characters rather than the age of the characters themselves. But on the Champions front, we got even more news, as filming is going to begin for this project, which is confirmed to be a series by Christian Harloff. But filming for this project is going to begin a lot sooner than you think. However, when this movie is going to be released probably isn't coming when you would expect it to. However, I think this is actually the better move by Marvel Studios, because according to insider Daniel RPK, who had his Lobo scoop confirmed today, so he's been on a hot streak with scoops, he confirmed that Champions series on Disney Plus, which is the Young Avengers project, will reportedly start filming in 2026. After tomorrow, that is a year away, which is pretty soon. But according to him, it's going to start filming in 2026, but it is set to be released after Avengers Secret Wars. So no Young Avengers / Champions project before Secret Wars. However, the Young Avengers, of course, will be a part of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And I think it's better this way. We didn't need kind of a story about them all coming together before Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't think it would fit too well before everything goes down. However, it coming after, I think, does make a lot of sense, because at that point in time, they'll all have fought together in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then they'll officially come together in the series as a team. And that way, they're already pretty familiar with each other, but we'll see them get closer and have to figure out how to actually work in an organized team. I think this is a good move, but you all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, last but not least is kind of interesting. It's the Exiles. In case you haven't watched the What If Season 3 finale, I won't go into too much spoilers really, but basically they left us with a multiversal team at the very end, working with what seems to be the one and only powered Watcher for now. I mean, I'm assuming the others are still in the Doctor Strange universe, which I did think was kind of cool. But many different insiders, including Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com, state that we're going to see the Exiles again. However, we do know that What If is done. This was the last season, so this was a series finale. Brad Winderbaum, head of Marvel Television, stated that it had to end for a specific reason. We have not seen that reason yet, but we are assuming that reason will come in either Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, where we might see this team. It sounds like we will. Of course, it's not confirmed yet. And no, this is not like the Exiles team from the comics, but it looks like they're going to be doing the best that they can, and perhaps we could get an Exiles team after Avengers Secret Wars if they ever do dive back into the multiverse. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about that and all of the news that we talked about in this video in the comments down below. Does this make you more excited for the future of the MCU or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news, rumors, or leaks. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.